Hey guys, in our last video we talked about, or we used popcorn to show how cones and cylinders and pyramids and prisms are all related. Today we're going to take a look at how you can use those formulas to get the answers. So what I've done here, we're starting off with a pyramid, and remember that a pyramid is related to a prism, in that if this was a prism with the same area of the base and the same height, okay, it would hold 3 times more than this pyramid does. So to find the volume of a pyramid, you need 3 things. You need the length and width of the base, so you can find the area of the base, and you need the height. I know this, and the height's tough to see here, but this is 7 inches. I wrote it up here so you can see it better. Okay. Underneath here, I've written the formula for the pyramid volume, which is the area of the base. In this case, it's a rectangle. So to find the area of a rectangle, you would take 15 times 8. You noticed I wrote that down there. And then you multiply that by the height, which is 7. Now remember, this is kind of like length times width times height, which is the volume of a prism. So to find the pyramid volume now, because it's basically 3 times smaller, I divide by 3. So I took basically the length times the width times the height and divided it by 3. And that's where I got this formula right here. When you punch this into your calculator, you end up, this is about 840 cubic inches. And then you divide that by 3 to get 280 cubic inches. You can see it for a second longer there if you need to. Okay, the next one is a cone. All right, now once again, this one's related to a cylinder. This is 3 times smaller than a cylinder. So you notice the cone volume, what I need is the area of the base times the height, the same as the last one, and then I'll divide it by 3. To find the area of the base of a circle, you need to make sure that you find the radius. In this case, because it goes from the middle to the outside, this is the radius, so the radius is 4 inches. All right, down underneath here, you'll see basically to find the area of the base, I would take pi times the radius squared. That's the area of the base. Then multiply that by the height and divide the whole thing by 3. So you'll notice right here, we have 3.14 times 4 squared, 4 is the radius, times 10, 10 is the height, and then you divide that whole thing by 3. And in this case, what you end up with when you do all that is 167 and 5/10 cubic inches. That's it. Now we are adding one more figure today, and this figure is a sphere. Now the volume of a sphere, basically what you'll need is the formula, and we're going to use the formula more often than not in this particular case. It does not relate to anything necessarily because of its shape. So there's no dividing by 3 from something else to get to this. Basically, you just have to plug things into the formula. In this particular problem, when you look at it, you would say to yourself, well, this is the formula. The volume is 4 over 3 times pi times the radius cubed. So the only thing you really need to know is the radius. Now up here, this is the diameter is 15, which means in this case, the radius is half of that. So half of 15 is 7.5. Okay, so this right here is the radius. So I'm going to put that in down here. I've got volume equals 4/3 times pi times 7.5 to the 3rd power. When I punch this into my calculator, I should get something along the lines of 1,766 and 3/10 cubic inches. This is just basically into your calculator to get this. Remember, if you forget any of these formulas, you can either look back at this video or on my page on the website, there is a link to a sheet with all the formulas that you can look at. There's a Google Classroom assignment today. If you go ahead and work on that, that'd be great. Have a good one.